was a hard-drinking sinner with blood on my hands. I was a hard-drinking sinner, a gun in my hands, drinking 40 pounds for dinner till I met a big man. And the man said, how do we do? 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 Well, I feel like reborn. I feel I'm renewed. 'Cause the man said, how do we do?
Well, I killed a lot of people, smoked that devil weed, and I never met a man that I didn't make bleed on that road to damnation. Well, who would believe that the man would say, how do we do?
How do we do? How do we do? How do we do? How do we do? How do we do? Well, I feel like reborn. I feel I'm renewed. 'Cause the man said, how do we do? Lost a leg to a bullet, and I'm scarred from that fight. Lost an eye and some fingers, played with dynamite. My good eyes witness misery, but I'm seeing alright. 'Cause the man said, how do we do? 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 Well, I feel like reborn. I feel I'm renewed. 'Cause the man said, how do we do?
Well, I pulled a lot of triggers, shot a lot of good men.
What is up, all you freaks out there? This is Ryan. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday, and I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you didn't go blind staring at the eclipse, and I'm glad the world did not end yet, but you know, it could still happen, I suppose. How we've got a great show for you tonight. We have got Shadows Abound coming back on the show. I'm going to say coming back for you. I'm having a tough time tonight, apparently. I had this really crazy urge to have coffee. I knew that if I drank coffee tonight, I would be up all night. So I fought through the urge. But now, as you can tell, my brain is not working. So let me go ahead and bring on my co-host with the most. First, from Fredericksburg Paranormal Research and Investigations. Let's bring on Rhonda Harris. What is up? How are you?
Are you having trouble with words, Ryan?
I mean, I'm having trouble with everything. Well, you know, we had the investigation on Saturday.
Yep.
And I didn't get home till like 4:00 in the morning. And I'll let Sarah explain why that happened. And then I watched WrestleMania with Howie. I didn't get bed till late Sunday. And then last night I decided to drink a Coke after work, and that kept me up all night. So so it's been a rough.
And then y'all have been daytime investigating. I've been seeing.
Oh well, we definitely want to talk about that. But let's bring on the other co-hostess with the mostest from Pungo Paranormal. Let's bring on Sarah Hall Hayes. What's up, buddy?
Hey. Hey,
How are you?
Rhonda.
Hey.
How was your night on Saturday?
was good. It's always a good time out at the cabin. I don't think I got home till after 2. So, but we had a great time. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank you two for coming out there and helping out with the event and everything. It was a good time, and I think everyone had a good time.
Yeah, it was the whole group that attendees, the whole attendees group. They were all high vibing, high energy. Like it was just a really good group all together.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It definitely helps when you have a good attitude when it comes to investigating. Like even if it's not the most active night, you still, it's the people you're hanging out with. It's a camaraderie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as I could tell, you had a pretty active night, Sarah.
Oh my
With your group.
God. It was something. It was something. We had a new person hang out with us in our group. Her name is Hanny, and Hanny Standing Bear, and she is phenomenal. Like when I say, like she picked up on so much stuff in our group that night. It was crazy. It was awesome. And
Is
then
it Hanny or Hani?
Hanny. Hanny.
Hanny.
It's Hanny. But she's awesome. And so yeah, that whole entire night was crazy. And then Heaven came in, and then the all of everything just ramped up. I think it was just because her and me, and then Hanny, you add Hanny into the mix because we're all, 3 of us are all mediums, and like all of that energy all in one just makes everything go haywire. So it was crazy. It was nuts. And then at the end of the investigation, Rhonda, holy crap. So
Rhonda.
We were downstairs in the basement, and I had gathered all of the walkies that I gave all of the teams, and I put them into my backpack, and all of them were off, right? I had one in my pocket, and because I forgot to put it back into the thing, but it was off. I heard the mic up a few times, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like I heard like a noise, and I was like, what is that? And Diane is like sitting next to me, and she's like, I don't know what that is. I didn't hear it. And then it happened again. And then we were like, holy crap. So I went to go open up my bag, and I hear it in my bag, and take out my radio, the walkie-talkie, and it's miking up, and you can hear somebody talking over it. Like you can hear like voices, and we're like, holy crap. So we put it down. It stops, completely stops. And then it happens again. Like it mics up, and you can hear like somebody trying to say something. And then it just stopped. And so I called Ryan. I was like, Ryan, because Ryan had just left. I called Ryan, and I was like, Ryan, please come back and help us try to figure out what's going on. Because we thought that somebody had stole or taken a walkie-talkie and was messing with us. So Ryan comes back with Howie, and like, what did you guys do? Because I think I think I might have been in the bathroom when you guys came in.
Well, we came in, and then Howie was looking around the cabin to see if there was anybody there, and then I guess we were trying to find the other radio, because then hey Hanny, hey Jeannie, because then I think Howie went outside with I don't know who he went with, but he went outside to the woods to look for your walkie-talkie. Then I took, I think Andy and maybe Heaven next door. Although I think Hanny went with Howie, and then Andy and Heaven came with me. And then I don't know where you were, but
I was in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, you were in the bathroom blowing it up probably. But
Which is interesting. that it happened that way because our last stop was the rancher for our second go round. Your team had just left and y'all had said it was crazy in the basement. We go down there, get nothing. Quiet as a mouse, except a cat ball going off. But when we were done, we came back upstairs. Everybody is sitting there just BSing. You know, it's me, Dennis, our team, FPRI, our group that was with us, and Dennis. And literally, we're just BSing, right? So Dennis and John were standing in the living room in the doorway looking in the kitchen. The rest of us were in the kitchen. And no joke, all of a sudden, it's like you hear somebody walk down the hall with boots. And we were all like, wait, what? And then an audible growl where like 4 or 5 people heard it. Like it wasn't just I heard it or 1 or 2 people, a bunch of people heard it. It was like, what was that? What was that? So it's almost like that's interesting that when you went back, it was kind of being crazy.
It was fucking nuts. Like upstairs in the Pearl, like we would point to the REM pod. We would say, can you turn it on? Automatically that REM pod would turn on. We would go, can you turn on this REM pod over here? And then that REM pod would turn on. And then we would point to both. And both REM pods would go off at the same time. We were like, what the fuck?
When we walked inside, I took the girls inside to look for the walkie-talkie. All of your stuff was going off. The music box, the REM pods, and they were going off with like nobody in the room. Like you guys had gone next door for a while, I guess, to wait for us. So we got down there. Everything was just, Weezy Rock was playing. The REM pod was going off. It was pretty crazy that night.
Nuts. It was nuts. And like I saw like a new thing downstairs in the basement that I haven't seen before. Like it was crawling on the ceiling, and then it went into the crawl space. And we had put I don't know, we put something over there in the crawl space. I can't remember what we put over there, but that was going to fuck off. And I was like, listen, Diane doesn't believe in shit, and she was fucking scared. Like she was so petrified the whole night. I was like, oh God, okay.
Oh, I love your mug, by the way, Sarah. Somebody, Rhonda, forgot their mug at the cabin.
You know Rhonda. What? Howie gave me his, and then I meant to like cycle back with you, and then by the time I saw you one time, it was like in the middle of everything, and by the time like we were like, I don't know, it was 2-ish. We were standing outside, and I was gonna walk in the cabin and say goodbye. And I was like, I don't think I can walk anymore. I'm done. Like I'm going home.
What was that? What was that podcast? Sarah and I were talking like because we saw you left. We're like, what the fuck, Rhonda? It'd be like
Rhonda.
It's like name of our new show. What the fuck, Rhonda?
Or nothing. You just fuck peace.
Just bouncing. I remember I was talking to Hal and I heard you guys talking to the side.
God.
You and the FPRI crew were talking to the side. I'm like, well, they'll come up here and say something, I'm sure. So I didn't go over there to say because I figured you guys would come over here and say something. It was just like a Christmas time when I thought you guys were staying and you were actually leaving. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, John walked in. I think we all had every intention of going back in, but then it looked like everybody was kind of settled in. It was like, I don't think we wanted to interrupt anybody. And John said, yeah, we all left. Sorry for not saying bye, guys.
All right, John. It's all right.
We forgive you.
That's all right. I'm taking the heat for the team, John. I'm taking it.
It's all good. We're just giving Rhonda a hard time.
Rhonda.
I'll take it. I was like, I need to go to bed. But then, of course, after investigating, I get home. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I don't fall asleep till like 5 or 6. Not.
Yeah, me too. I was super tired coming home the first time, and then even more tired the second time. But I still was able to fall asleep for another hour or so because you get that high of investigating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jonathan, everybody said, I didn't want to interrupt her. Yeah, it's like pizza came, y'all got quiet. We're like,
was it during when
we had our mouths full.
I was so hungry, dude.
Yeah, we weren't exactly talking. We had pizza shoved in our mouths. Man. But it was good. Wawa makes good pizza. Or I was just really hungry. Probably the latter.
Yeah.
Darian
Dan was like, if she brings back pizza, it's gone. I'm done. It's it. We tore the pizza up.
You know what, guys? I need to wish you guys a very happy National Unicorn Day, which of course is kind of our thing. Yes, right there. GI Designs. Message Jason Gray from GI Paranormal, who's gonna be on our show next week, by the way.
Yeah.
Yay.
That guy's an asshole, I heard.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, he is.
He is a DICK, but in the best way possible. Super excited for National Unicorn Day. So everybody, thank you for taking the time out of celebrating unicorns to come talk to us. We're all unicorns in our own special way.
That's right.
I'm just a special one. Like,
I don't know. I just thought it sounded like a very motivational thing to say. I didn't really think about the reasoning behind it. I was just, don't think about it. Just go with it, okay? Don't think about what I say. Just go with it, okay? And you'll go far. Oh man. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. We did a fun experiment today at the cabin. We did a live investigation out there. It was pretty interesting. We got some kinks to smooth out, but I think we had a good time.
Yeah.
And I think everyone enjoyed
fun to
it.
watch. So it's cool.
Yeah, Hanny and I went into Melissa's room, and she picked up on the same stuff that I picked up on, which was the mimic came in and like kind of got on that back wall. And as soon as I said that, and as soon as she felt it on the spirit box, Howie's voice came through. And I was like, Howie? And I even called out, I was like, Howie. And like he mic'd up, and he was like, I was like, dude, were you talking? And he said he was completely on mute. And I was like, what the fuck? Then Ryan's voice came through. And then Jason's voice came through saying Sawa, because my name is Sawa to him, like Sarah, but like baby talk Sawa. So he always calls me Sawa. And it came through, it says Sawa, what? And I was like, Jason, were you just saying my name? And like they were on mute the entire time. Like we couldn't hear
it was crazy.
It was so nuts. It was so nuts.
That just makes sense with everything what we've said is in the rancher, that it comes through as whatever it thinks you want it to come through as.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I was in there with Jason a few weeks ago, and we were talking, and I mentioned Howie's name. Hey, David. And all of a sudden I hear a voice in the hall or in the main room, and it sounds like Howie talking, but I wasn't sure if that was just my brain putting Howie's, on that Howie on that voice because we were just talking about him, so I wasn't sure if I was, tricking myself, but I think it's been there before, and this isn't the first time we've heard it. I think you've heard it before. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Motorboat.
There's two separate things that are. Did you say motorboat?
That's what Howie said. Howie said.
Mandy, I was reading Handy's comments.
No, as a motorboat man, and I'm not sure I want to know where that comes from.
Howie said he wants to motorboat you.
No.
Oh,
well, he said Jason will forever be known as Motorboat Man.
Oh,
and I'm not sure I want to know what that's about.
I don't think you.
I hope y'all
do. You do. Look it up.
I mean,
I know what it means, but
Rhonda said, "I know what it means."
I just don't want to know why he's called that.
I misunderstood Rhonda's comment there. I was like, "Wow, okay, we're learning new things here."
Oh my god,
we're spilling the tea here in the Freaking Awesome Paranormal.
There is no tea.
Oh my goodness.
Shall we get to our guests? Oh,
yes.
Wait,
well, first I've got to get the paranormal shout out to Missouri Paranormal Investigations. They are from Springfield Paranormal, from Missouri. Their mission statement is: we at Missouri Paranormal Investigations strive to help our clients understand and explain the unknown. And that's a good mission statement. to have. So everyone go check out Missouri Paranormal Investigations. And if you live in Missouri and you have a ghost, you know who to call.
I still can't get over the motorboat. I'm gonna think about that the whole entire podcast.
It's already gone off the rails in like 9:18.
Oh my god.
Control yourself.
Help.
Breathe deep. Compose.
Stop enjoying this, Howie. Stop enjoying this.
Yeah, he's. You know what the word fudgel means? Fudgel. Something I do every day.
What happened when you just misread what I misunderstood what I said?
I misheard what you said. I didn't misread anything.
Is that it?
That's my excuse. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. The word fudgel is the act of giving the impression that you are working when you really aren't doing anything at all, which is what I do all the time. I fudgel a lot. I fudgel
all the time.
All the time.
I'm fudgeling right now.
I fudge and fudgel. Oh my goodness.
Fuck. All right. That was my laugh for the night.
All right. We're now composed. We're not ready to bring
Kinda.
on.
I mean,
that's of our
you're really struggling over there.
like fucking motorboat and Rhonda, man.
Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Okay, I will never forget my mug or leave without saying goodbye again.
Thank you.
I see them in the queue. They're probably looking at what the fuck are you guys doing?
I know, like, what did we get ourselves into, dude? We're not like this normally. I'm sorry.
No, we are. Yeah, we are completely serious all the time.
All the time.
Yep.
All right. Shadows Abound Paranormal. I write this shit down because I'm prepared. Shadows Abound Paranormal is a paranormal channel that investigates haunted locations. They also have a podcast where they discuss the various topics. Greg Trail, and Christopher Timmons are two great guys, and we're excited to have them back on the show. Let's bring them here. You ready, Sarah?
I'm getting my fan started. I'm going.
Okay.
I'm good.
Everyone good? All right. Let's bring them on the stage. What is up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hello. We're not normally like this. So
we don't usually talk about motorboating each other on the show. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right when I get it back together, here he goes.
Stop.
Okay. We are now composed. The last time I saw you guys, I was freezing my ass off at Hollywood Cemetery.
I think you're on mute.
Are you still on mute?
Man.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, no, that was a good experience.
Motorboat.
I was not prepared for 40 degrees. It was a lot cooler by the water than it does in my apartment.
Yeah. Well, when you're in a cemetery like that, it gets a little colder too. Very
Yeah.
open. Yeah. So you're gonna have to bring a lot more hand warmers next time.
Don't worry. I'm just gonna tape them to me. I'm gonna be covered in hand warmer.
I mean, they are the secret to good investigation is hand warmers. Not lying. You can put them on your shoes.
I just found a whole bag's worth out
pocket.
bringing for you anyways, I thought. And I just now found them, but I was supposed to bring them out when we went.
Well, if we go anytime soon, we won't need them because it'll probably be a lot warmer.
True.
Than January. So we'll save them for our next winter investigation.
Yeah.
Dennis has that vest that you can like touch and it like heats up.
And Shonda has socks that are electric.
Really? Huh.
Like with the battery, you turn your socks on.
I think if your feet are warm, you're pretty much good to go.
I agree. I agree.
You know, keep your feet and your head warm. You're pretty much.
I don't know. I got cold Saturday night in the basement when we were down there the last time, and they laughed because somebody says, "What is Rhonda doing?" And because my nose was cold, I took my hoodie and I cinched it. I looked like Kenny.
Oh my god!
So that my nose was cold.
Yeah, I'm excited you guys like Hanny a lot. I went to school with her and kind of connected with her, with us and the group stuff we were doing from Nightmare Con. And she just kind of like jumped in the mix and wanted to go out there with you guys. So
she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like
she was out there with us today.
God, man.
Give a shout out to Hanny. I think she's watching.
Yeah.
Hanny.
Hanny.
Man.
So
heck yeah.
So how have you guys been? What have you guys been up to?
We've been doing all right. Basically went to Midlothian coal mines recently. That was the last investigation we did. We kind of took a break for a little while to kind of get normal life situated. But Midlothian coal mines, we went there the night before the eclipse.
Yeah, I want to say Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night.
Something like that.
Sunday night.
But no, we had a blast. We went there and the energy was just crazy. Off rip. As soon as we got in there, stuff started happening. We were seeing ghosts walk by, and we were having a lot of animal interactions, which usually happens when we go there. I mean, what else did we hear? We heard a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, there was that snippet that we didn't realize had gotten recorded. It sounds kind of like a lion growling or something.
Yeah, we had that.
Oh, wow.
A lion?
Was that part of the what you sent me?
That might be in it. I remember there was a couple things. There was a lot of. It sounded like a Disney movie, but in the wrong way all of a sudden. At one point, which was pretty spooky for us. We were hearing like 5-6 different animals go off at once. We didn't know what the hell was happening.
Yeah, like audibly, we had like 3 different. I guess I don't know what to call them. The noise that owls make. There was an owl by us. Really,
like the hoot.
Wow.
And it did it 3 times. So
yeah, it was always in threes. Yeah. And what was really weird about that owl was basically as we were walking down the path, anytime it sounded like it was 5 feet over here, we didn't hear anything fly off. But like as we got over in that area, then all of a sudden it was down this way, and then it was down this way, and it was like constantly moving, like all over the place.
Almost like it was like following us or circling us.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then as far as the energy, how it felt, like we hadn't felt it like that there since the first time we got into it. Like our story we told you about way back when we were like kids doing it for the first time. So.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I mean, we were seeing stuff left and right. So
not many people associate Midlothian with coal mines, but there are, there's a lot of like coal mines, even in the West End, Henrico.
Yeah,
lots of stories associated with those coal mines.
Yeah, there was a big production out of the Midlothian coal mines. I mean, you had basically right before the Civil War, it kind of started, and then as it went through the Civil War, the Confederates basically tried to like hold it as a resource, but it shut down multiple times. People kept bringing it back. There's actually a house that's like a mile down the street that was like basically the office of the place. Got taken over by different people. The last ones I think were the Confederate Army, but that house is now an actual lawyer's office that still stands.
Yep.
So you could drive by and see it and everything.
Well, then it's the source. That's the reason why that area inside of Chesterfield County is called Midlothian. It was originally called the Midlothian Coal Mines.
Oh, okay. So like middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
Ash in the middle there.
Yeah, the Lothian brothers come over from Scotland. They actually bought that area and owned it. So then ended up being Midlothian from that.
I love hearing stories behind names like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not even know about these coal mines till you all mentioned them, or I heard you mention them.
It's a wild place. I mean, if you're a paranormal investigator, you got to at least go there at least once to check it out.
Yeah, next time you go, I'll definitely go with you guys. Just Sunday after being up till 4:00 in the morning on Saturday, I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm in charge on that. Yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault.
No, it was all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
We were trying.
We were just talking about the coal mines earlier.
Oh yeah.
We were literally just talking about that. Like, I haven't heard anything about like Henrico or Midlothian having coal mines ever until today.
Like, where is it near in Midlothian? Like, if we, I mean, I'm just curious, is like location wise, what is it near?
So it's off of Charter Colony, off of the main highway, but it's behind Midlothian High School.
Okay.
And John Tyler is like off to the left in front of a major child daycare.
That makes sense. I was wondering how close to the river they were.
Yeah, it's got a very big, like, I don't know if it's a man-made lake or whatnot, but it's like right next to it.
Big reservoir that looks like a lake, yeah.
That makes sense.
Walking by that at night, the energy, it's wild.
Oh, yeah, that probably amplifies it to the nth degree.
So we've kind of talked about how we pray before we go in. You know, we're not like super religious, but we do pray before we go in and we pray when we leave. And there's a bridge that we always walk on, do our little prayer before we go in. And like as we're there, we look across the water. And I'm like, do you see that light? And he goes, yeah, I see that light. And it looked like a little campfire just across the water. And we were hearing voices talking to each other. And I was like, do you hear somebody talking? He goes, yeah. And so we try to quiet down and try and listen. We heard people laughing, all that kind of stuff. We go all the way over there. Nobody there. No fire, no light, no nothing. Voices gone. And that was like the first thing we witnessed while we were there.
Yeah, the light actually, Ryan, was a lot like the one we saw leaving Hollywood Cemetery towards the end there.
Oh, that lantern?
Yeah.
Like a lantern.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
It was.
How far were you from it?
Probably
400 or 600 yards.
About 400. I'd say about 400.
Yeah.
But it was across the water, and there's another. It's like a wooden pier there, and that's why we thought people were actually there because we're like, oh, maybe somebody's over there just chit and chatting, and get over there, nothing.
Nothing
I mean,
at all.
it's dead silent.
Yeah. And it's a park, so some of these little outcroppings that are made out of wood go out onto the water, and people can stand there and sit on a bench and stuff. So that's why we're like, maybe some kids from the area are having a party or something.
Yeah, it's like a national walkway, so you can go around it.
Having an eclipse party.
Yeah,
that's what we thought. We were like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we expected, but it was actually pretty quiet, pretty dead out there.
Yeah. No, but it's definitely interesting. I mean, every time we go, it's something new. Every time we go, we get, different voices, different conversations, different things happening. But the presence and the pressure is always there. So certain areas you walk in, it's like you walk through a portal, you go 50, 60 yards, you walk through another portal, and it's just like you're in different spiritual realms almost. It's really weird.
Yeah, there's like at least 2 different sections that you walk through where, like, if you want to experience walking through a portal or experiencing a ghost loop, you got to come out. You got to go.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like the woods behind the cabin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't been there yet, but we want to go.
Yeah, badly. Especially.
It's definitely an experience. I can tell you that.
That's what we keep hearing.
I watched the guys Beyond the Badge on YouTube, and they just posted their video from Cabin 360. So I was watching that the other day.
Yeah, that they did a really good job with their production and everything, and their I guess at the end when they were in Melissa's room, some of the stuff they caught on the spirit box was pretty chilling.
Yeah. Who edits their videos? Do you know? Is that them or they have?
I have no idea. Probably, I think it's them.
Oh, okay, it's a really good style.
Yeah, it was nice.
Are they from Virginia, like in our area?
I think so. I think they're from like Tidewater area. I don't know. We'll ask them when they come on the show in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
We'll discuss who edits their videos and where they're from. I'm sure I'll be able to find that on Facebook. I don't even know they have a Facebook page. The main guy is named Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to be doing an event with them at the beginning of August to raise money for first responders at the cabin. So
nice.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
You, Greg, sent me a video which I'm going to play, and you can let us know what's going on.
Okay, it's 3 parts that's in there. So the first one goes by pretty quick. The second one, I mean, have your own interpretation. I mean, I sat here at like midnight last night trying to edit it, and then it's a lot going on. And then in the middle of like the woods going crazy, I get an EVP right in the middle of it. and then it goes right back to the woods being crazy again. So, take your own listen, I guess.
Was this last night or was this another investigation?
Yeah,
this is Sunday night.
This is
okay. Oh, not last night. Night before last.
Yeah, this is the night. So I added it last night.
Okay. All right.
Chris and Greg walking away. Chris and Greg walking away.
Yeah. So
wow, that was a lot going on.
yeah, that so I guess I did put the tiger one in there. I don't know what the hell that was. We didn't hear that in person. That was only picked up by the voice recorder. So I put a voice recorder there on the tree. That tree is very active. The last time we were there was actual sticks put into ritual signs on it. Anytime I've been by that tree, I've been scratched, touched, screamed at, cussed at, hit. All the physical activity happens around that tree. That fence behind the REM pod is where the first building is at. Over I think 150 to 200 people died there, including free slaves, Confederate soldiers, rich people, kids, a whole bunch of different people. So you get a lot of activity. There's also a lot of demonic spirits that roam around and Native American stuff that roams around. So you have a whole
a mix
full of stuff,
a crazy mix.
But there's a lot of negative energy right there. So while this is recording, as we're walking away, we got the EVP, of course. And I didn't put it in the clip, but I was editing last night. When the REM pod starts going off, it sounds like footsteps walking around right before it goes off, and then it goes off. And then while we're away, all that, it sounds like something screaming. It sounds like something yelling. You hear an owl hooting.
Almost like a group of people.
Yeah. It's
all the sounds.
Bunch of when you don't go or come back, then it's just like a whole conglomeration of it's like this whole something going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's multiple somethings or something.
It's definitely multiple somethings. I think there's a lot of and kind of as I was saying earlier, you have different portals. So as you walk through, it's like a lot of animalistic stuff. You walk through another one, it's very dark energy. It's very elemental, demonic. You walk through another portal, all of a sudden you're feeling Native American shaman type stuff. Then you go to another portal, and it's it just keeps on going. You feel different ways as you go.
Do the portals move around?
No, they're in the same.
Walking through a wall,
in another section of the forest or a portion of the park, showing you another building behind a fence. Right at that entrance or opening is another portal, and you have to walk through it to get to the next part of the woods or a part of the park. It is a park too, so
it's
wow.
There's so many different things that have happened there. When we did our first video, that's kind of one of our favorite places to go because it's always changing. And so while we were filming on the first bridge you walk over, there's a little creek that goes underneath. We captured on camera what sounded like demonic chanting over the water as it was flowing. So we actually have that on the YouTube channel. Last time we went, we didn't need any equipment at all. As we were walking up to it, I said, "Did you hear that?" And he goes, "Yeah." And as we got closer, you literally heard it out loud, just going with the water. And since the last time we went, they've opened up a lot of stuff, got rid of a lot of debris, opened up clear pathways for the water. So it's
they're doing consistent lots of reconstruction, adding on to structures. They'll find a portion of one of the mine hole shafts. They'll find some of the pieces of the tools, and then they'll go and remake some of the tool or the giant forklift they're using, and they'll put that off to the right. So it's actually the park is separated by a main 4-lane road almost in that area, going around past
the first building's
YMCA.
at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because then there's like a parking lot off to the right and like a big plaque telling you about the whole situation with like lights. So, and then they have a big expensive apartment complex to the right of that, and they're adding on to that. So there's several things all going on, adding to it, I think.
Probably adding to the activity as well.
Yeah.
All the changes they're making.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Were there lots of accidents or anything like that that would cause the place to have that much activity?
I mean, there was, like I said, there was kid spirits there from little kids working back in mine shaft days. They were so small that they allowed them to work in the mine shaft to get down below. If I remember reading correctly, there's actually a book out there from the 1950s that somebody did for a college report that actually states the names of the people that died, the amount of people in the explosions. You can kind of go and see what happened in there. Just look it up on Google. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But like last time we were there, speaker box, one of the names of the people that died came out. I asked how many died in the explosion. They said 8. He was in that order of the people that died in the 8 explosion. So we got a lot of answers for the questions we were asking. But there was definitely accidents, because they used to send the was it canary down the mine shaft with the whatever it was, and if you had methane gas back then and you had a lantern, it would explode.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of those things happen. So they sent a canary down there, and the canary didn't come back. Then there was methane in the air, and they knew not to go down there. So they would have accidents before that with lanterns and stuff. So a lot of people would get crushed, killed.
So it's like
whatever.
4 major explosions,
Yeah.
6 mine shafts. 6 of those shafts are 2 main shafts that they uncovered, and they have them capped. The others, they haven't really, if they found them, they didn't say anything. A lot of it's still covered up by the forest and debris from trees and stuff, which, like Greg was saying, they have cleared a lot of it off. There's a portion where there's a big walkway leading to the little creek he was talking about, and they've cleared off the sides for people to like go down, look at the creek, take pictures, sit on a bench. There's a couple other benches along the way that are supposed to be memorials to some of the people that died. Amongst the 4 major explosions, there was like 10 or 20 major cave-ins constantly, like a consistent thing.
Wow.
It's always having a cave-in.
Yeah, it kept happening.
It literally feels like there's something with that land, and I feel like what we hear is people trying to bless the land, clear the land, that's what it feels like. Like the things that we're hearing, they're sending animal spirits like to try to understand what's happening. It's like it's been a problem all along, even before then.
Well, so Chris and I have different abilities with seeing in the spiritual. For me, it's a little bit different than him. He sees things more physically. I have to close my eyes, meditate, and I see it with my eyes closed spiritually. So sometimes I open myself up. There's been multiple occasions there where I've seen a shaman spirit, and the next thing I know, I don't know what happened the next 2 hours, and I was roaming around the woods. They're trying to talk to me. I'm not snapping out of it. There was one instance I was ghost scribing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the hell that was. And I was literally drawing in the dirt with sticks and making symbols and a whole bunch of different stuff. I had no idea what was going on. Snapped out of it, and they had to tell me about it. I was knocked out for like 2 days afterwards. But there's also bad Native American spirits there as well that we feel like. So that's a mixture right there. Now, actual people go there, and they do mark ritual stuff around. They'll draw it in the trees, they'll draw it in rocks, they'll draw it in dirt, leave it around. We find stuff all the time. So I don't know if people go there at night and they try and do stuff. I have no clue, but we found a lot of negative and positive stuff there. So it's always constantly something going on. It's like you said, it's like a struggle.
Yeah.
Or if there's
like
satanic groups, obviously they're probably being secretive, because like a week prior to us going out, I had finally wanted to look to see if there was a chapter of the Satanic Church in Virginia. And if there is, they send a group that's supposed to be a sister group from New York, where I'm from. They send them to Virginia Beach, and they try to make conventions, or the date that they meet on every year is April 13th. So They don't have their own official place or group here, which was very, very weird. So, but again, if they're official, a lot of times they're not really attached to someone that's doing negative rituals. They're more political now as far as a movement and positivity to oneself versus a group kind of thing. So at least the Anton LaVey chapter of the Satanic Church.
So you think they're going hanging out at the Midlothian coal mines?
Doing something.
Could be either that or teenagers or whoever. But I mean,
or like they could be on Google looking up stuff and they're trying to make it, not knowing what they're doing.
Whoever's doing it is actually doing legit symbols.
Yeah.
That's what makes us do this. So that's why this time I was like, screw it. You're gonna make ritual symbols or whatever. I'm gonna put my voice recorder right there. So that's what I did this time. But I mean, it's every time we go, it's something different. So
that they keep changing the fencing too. Like I noticed from the last time we were there, it's stuff. Like a thick square rebar. And the time before that, it was just your average fence for a garage almost.
Yeah. So what do you think is more active, Hollywood or Midlothian coal mines?
They're both active.
Just in different ways, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely repetitive stuff that happens at Hollywood Cemetery that I would think there's a lot of very negative energy there. And I mean, you witnessed a lot of stuff that was going on.
Oh yeah,
a lot of stuff that roams those grounds, and a lot of it has to do with some witch stuff. We were told there is a family of witches that go every Halloween, and they basically do a ritual near where we were at, and a lot of activity comes from there. But also in the coal mines, if they're the same people that are going there and doing it, then that could be it. But it could be, like we said, just random people doing stuff they see on the internet. But whatever they're doing, it amps it up. So we never had a quiet night going there.
With your ghost scribing, it sounds almost like automatic writing to me, like you were channeling. Were y'all able to look up any of the symbols to see if they meant anything?
Well, he was doing a mixture of some Algonquin Native American symbols, which they were hand in hand with trading and stuff with the Powhatan Indians in the area. And then there was a lot of like rune signs from Viking stuff, which is very random, very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, well, so that's Viking stuff is in our heritage, but it's nothing connected to that area in Virginia. So that's the weird part. I mean, you're dead on about saying he was channeling. He definitely channels. It's kind of out of his control when he does go sometimes, or he'll mistakenly open himself up too much. And if it's not channeling, it's kind of a hiccup with being possessed almost, maybe a strong oppression, and it's trying to enter. And that's usually when one of us stand in and help him, especially if he's not like wanting to take it that far, or because he's unaware of it happening. Then we have to do a self-awareness check with him real quick to make sure he's okay.
It's like, what would you call it?
Yeah.
Backpacking, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Ed uses that, or Howie uses that term a lot.
Yeah.
Which I love him, man. He's like a brother from another mother. That time we met, made an instant connection right there. He's cool.
I think the weirdest meditation I ever saw was, I don't know if it was him or not. I don't know if it was another symbol, but meditating, I closed my eyes and I swear I saw what looked like Odin to me, which was wild. But I mean, we have a lot of Viking ancestry in us. So, I feel like it would be too far off, but it was a man in a robe, eye patch, beard, raven. So I thought that was pretty wild. And
we've seen that a couple times when he's not near you or you see him. We get the sense that he's there sometimes in the back.
That feels like one of your guides and your spirit animals.
Could be.
Well, so anytime I see him, it's the last portal. So the last portal, it's like once you get through it, you feel protected.
Oh yeah, they're protected. Right.
You're gonna walk back. It's like you got to go through 4 or 5 different doorways to get there, and one of them feels like you got to get the hell out of there, or something is going to attack you.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of like boom, boom, wham, boom, 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 and then you're finally back to your car and you're getting out of there. So it's a wild place.
Well, I'm a weirdo. I would be the one that still stays, holding it out the longest, trying to get all the experience possible. I think I said that at the Nightmare Weekend convention, where it's like if something's happening and I didn't catch it right away, I'm the guy that runs towards it to see if I can catch it happening again.
Here you go.
Unless it's a cat, then I'm out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I told him that night because I know how he is. You know, I'll sit there, be filming, and I'll turn around and I'm like,
I'll be somewhere else.
Where the hell did he go?
I didn't say anything.
So I told him before we went in there, I was like, look, dude, I don't feel like being alone tonight because anytime I'm by myself, it sounds really weird, but it's like a creepy person just rolls up next to you and is breathing on your neck, and you're just like, yeah. You know, you get that feeling. And anytime I'm by myself, that happens. It's like my energy just, and everything gets attracted. I don't know what it is.
Because of your because you do have Viking heritage in there, have you do you read ruins, or have you tried to read ruins? I almost feel like that's something you need to learn to put into your investigations.
I mean, I've looked into some of it. You know, I thought about doing it. But we also grew up in kind of a Christian household. So it's like we learned about ruins also meaning a certain thing to where you can trap part of yourself into it, and bad things can happen. You know, I know they came out of Odin's rib cage and all that kind of stuff, but I'm a little nervous to do it, I guess I would say. Just knowing some of the side effects can happen with it if you don't know what you're doing. So I try and make sure that, like, we don't mess with the Ouija boards.
Right.
Touch that at all. The spirit box and REM pod, flashlight, you know, other ways of talking. That's kind of how we go. We're not trying to mess with the crazy.
Just curious, because I mean, it seems like if you've got that kind of connection, it wouldn't necessarily be something. I think I'm learning. I had bad experiences with Ouija boards. I had bad, you know, so I was always scared of those. I was always scared of different divination tools, and now I'm just kind of realizing they're just a tool if you know how to use them, and you're protecting yourself, and you've got your guides, which clearly you have a strong one if he's showing up all the time. So when you're ready, it might be something to explore.
Yeah, and he's got the stones to borrow. He bought me those for my birthday when we went to Hanover Tavern last year. So
I get it. I mean, it's everything in your own time. In your own time.
I mean, it's something that I probably would explore when life and everything else is very strong and I'm on solid ground. Because I want to get back to kind of meditating and strengthen myself a little bit more. So, because like he said, there are times where when I meditate and go into stuff, like you can ask Ryan when he went to Hollywood Cemetery. Ed was with us. You know, I closed my eyes and I said, "There's something poking its head around that pyramid right there. There's something on top of that pyramid." And he looked with the FLIR camera, and sure enough, there's a little head poking out behind the pyramid, and then there's something crawling on top of the pyramid. And you know, it's.
Well, that was wild. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, we want to buy one.
Yeah, we need to get one.
We'd love to see stuff. I know he uses it from time to time. He was telling me it, you know, sucks up a charge. It takes like the longer it takes to charge it than it does to use it. And it's really easy, fast ran down when he uses it. So
it kept cutting off. The FLIR camera kept cutting off.
Yeah,
at the cabin on Saturday, and then again today. But it's still, you know, what we were able to capture with it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so I watched some of the video Beyond the Badge too as well. He was telling me to check it out, so I did. I would love to try a meditation in the basement and see what I pick up, just because of the stories and hearing about Astaroth and everybody else. It's kind of like I kind of want to try that. I don't know, it might be a stupid idea, but you know. I think that'd be kind of cool. That place seems very active.
I am medium, and I've seen it. Like, I've seen what it looks like, and it hates me for it. Like, it literally like put a mark on the back of my neck. It wanted me to come, like, get out of the basement as soon as possible, which, like, it succeeded because I ran out of the basement. But that thing downstairs is it's scary. Like, it's I don't know. It's like a whole new level of I don't even know what to call it. It's not demonic. It's not human. It's not like it's elemental, if you want to call it that kind of thing. But it would be something to see you go down there and meditate and see what you can feel.
Yeah, it sounds like an old, very old, like Legion demon almost. Sounds like it does command a lot of stuff. I think we were looking a little bit into it after we saw the video, and he was saying how it controls a certain amount of imps in hell, and that walk the earth. It's something like that is very big into oppression. They oppress the land, they oppress you, and a lot of things like that don't like people like us who can see, just because the fact that they're losing their ground, losing their power. And if as I was watching the videos, I can't remember who said it, but they're like, if you're not strong in your ability and your religion and your beliefs and blah 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 blah, blah, you're gonna have a hard time with it. And that's true, because stuff like that can control you and overpower you and hurt you in more ways than one. So I definitely believe that.
Yeah, they don't like being seen. I can tell you that.
No.
It hates me.
The only way I can ever describe my thing, I like to call it, is I'm the little kid in the Sixth Sense. Only I can't turn it off. I have to do things to distract myself from it. So it's like a curse and a blessing at the same time. It sucks, but it's all right when you see interesting things to learn from. I've learned to deal with it being older now. So, it was annoying when I was younger.
Tell us about the Clinton house.
So interesting story that just developed recently, right? So as I'm at work one day, right, one of the associates I worked with, she was from that area. And so she heard a story about how back in the day, there was a very haunted, famous house that had a story where the lady cooked a baby and fed it to her husband.
What?
And I was like, what the hell? I was like, where's this house at? And anyway, she started talking to me, and I was like, that house sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So I had pictures on my phone. And I said, did it have an abandoned house to the left of it? Did it have a house to the right of it? Did it have a general store across the street? And she, yeah. Showed her a picture of it. It was that freaking house. So we already investigated, already been there, never heard about that story.
No.
But we had heard.
Well, other than the story about an old hag and putting kids in the
we never heard that one. Yeah.
The cabinet for seasonings or something.
So the lady that owned it, her sister was kind of like a medium. So when she was there, or sensitive, I guess, near the pantry, she started freaking out. She didn't like it. So while I was there, I used the speaker box. We were talking, and I said, "Do you want me to go in the pantry?" No, came out. I said something. I don't know. Something told me that she used to abuse kids. I don't know why. I said, "You used to and she goes, "I might." Comes out, and then literally right after that, a male voice came out and said she used to abuse them.
It's in the video. It's in our video.
It's in the video. I even asked, like, you used to lock kids in here? And that's when that kind of came out. Before we even went in there, it's in the intro of the video. We said, hey, we're going to go in the kitchen next. And this, what comes out, but it's really loud comes out. It's very long. So it's like a lot of energy comes from that area. So I think it had something to do with the lady that owned the house.
Well, if you want to experience basements, that has a crazy basement too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting Ryan's speech.
Yeah. I'm rubbing off on you guys. I remember you guys open the refrigerator, I think, and there.
If you ever want to smell
everything was in it.
The worst smell on earth. Open up that fridge. No electricity in the house for 3 years. Black goo in bags and awful.
Yeah.
So the lady's neighbor, right? She goes with us. She's in the video. I didn't put it in the video because I didn't know how the world would take it. But I actually literally caught oppression on camera. And I'll have to show you the video. But basically, we're in the attic. I have the body camera in the back. And we're all sitting there setting up. And I hear... And as I'm editing, I'm like, how's the air coming from? Like, what does that sound? And I zoom in on the neighbor's face. The neighbor is standing over the owner. The owner's kind of kneeling down. We're all setting up. And she turns her head as she's exhaling. And as she does, it looks like Gollum.
Yeah, like her face changes. Like you watch the change.
And as she goes, I capture her on camera. She looks down, her face changes.
Yeah.
And then here's the crazy thing. Show the owner of the house that. It goes on down the road. She tells me that that lady had issues with her husband. I won't say personal stuff, but she literally moves out of the house like within that week. She leaves, goes, it's gone. I don't know if she's come back or not, but I don't know if whatever from that night messed with her personal life. I don't know. But I literally captured that on camera.
Yeah.
And it gave me like, sometimes when you edit, you can get like goosebumps. It's almost like you're reliving what you're going through. And I was like, I was right there when that was happening. Like, it was wild.
Well, I mean, it's so crazy. He showed me it right after editing it, and he had it to the part where you might want it where it replays 3 times, you can catch it.
Mm-hmm.
The very first time when he plays it for me, like instant goosebumps from head to toe. So
that's crazy.
But I didn't want to put a video because I didn't know how the world would take it, kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's sometimes people aren't ready to see that kind of stuff or really experience that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Not a lot of people in the world, I don't think, are ready to actually see that. I mean, all right, so let's be honest. You watch a lot of paranormal shows, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of editing. It's a lot of music behind it. It's a lot of before something happens.
Building up the suspense.
I don't put any of that in our footage. I want you to feel like you're there with us in the investigation. There's no soundtrack. There's a replay. That's it. There's no music. There's no build-up. There's no editing. There's no an image of a little girl. There's no image of a guy drinking a glass. There's nothing. It's just straight investigation. So seeing that, I was a little nervous about putting that in just because I didn't know how some people would take it. You know, you're getting the real investigation, but it's like, that was a holy shit moment almost. You know, made me nervous a little bit. And I was kind of like, I want to go back. Maybe.
I mean, so we want to go back, but then we also have a lot of footage where we have enough to piece together a part 2. So
we gotta do that. We got Midlothian. We gotta go ahead and put out. We're trying to do smaller bits, so it's not taking too long to edit.
I think your next investigation should be at the cabin on 360.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got to figure out a day you're not doing something there.
Maybe we're talking to Dennis about that. We'll get you guys out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
I miss him. I made a big connection with him from the convention. So
yeah, I mean, he wasn't able to come out to Hollywood for some reason or another. So hopefully, if you guys go back to Midlothian, we'll be able to join you guys out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're down to go, honestly, any night there. That's literally like our favorite place to go. But as far as it's the cabin and the house. Is a lot more activity in the house, or is a lot more activity in the cabin?
It depends on the night, really.
Depends on the night.
Okay.
And there's activity back in the woods too.
Depends on the night.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. There's something in the woods too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot in the woods.
Yeah.
Every time I go, it's active. Every single time. But then there's people that go that they don't get anything sometimes. It just depends on not like. Let me rephrase that. There's people that go that might get something at the cabin, but nothing at the rancher, or all of the things in the woods. It just depends, but it's always active. Always, always, always active.
Okay. Yeah. No, we want to try and find the hot spots of the area, so we know where to set our cameras up and everything when we go. I'm guessing the basement's probably the biggest.
Yeah.
It usually is, but not all the time. You know.
Yeah. It depends.
The Pearl has been really active the last few weeks.
And even in the rancher, we got it in, I guess, the office area with the fireplace. John was getting some crazy EVPs in there, so you just never know.
Yeah, it is just one of those places where you every night, every time someone goes, something different happens.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it, and we wanted to go kind of when there was less people. Just because when we went to Hanover Tavern, I mean, we got stuff, but it definitely felt like a lot more energy was drawn out to everybody walking around.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff happening at once that you're like, all right, where do I film? Do I film over here? Do this? Do I do that?
Yeah.
You're also trying to film and do voice work and stuff, and you're hearing people laugh and cackle down the hallway and stuff like that.
I wouldn't suggest coming out during a public investigation, just because, like you said, there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to control the environment like you could if it's just you guys out there.
Yeah, I mean, we would definitely like to go to join the event. Support you.
But not for filming. I wouldn't film during a public investigation because you're just so.
I mean, like, you could film for like your personal races, but not like.
Yeah. That's the same at Belgrove. It's different when you're doing our own investigations and when we're doing publics.
Yeah, which there's a couple places we want to get into. So I was driving through Ashland recently. I don't know much about Ashland. I don't know if you guys do, but
I do.
driving through there, it was really weird. So I got to a part, I guess it was in the middle. There was train tracks and there was a bunch of houses on the side. And I remember driving down the street and I'm like, there's something there. There's something at that house. Something happened there. Something bad there. And like, I just kept bing, 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 bing. And so I finally got into a store and asked somebody, I was like, is there a lot of haunted stuff that's happened here? And I told them kind of what I did. And she goes, oh, yeah. And then the person next to her is like, mm-hmm. And I was like, well, give me some places. I want to check it out. And I didn't get anything out of them. Like, they didn't give me any locations, so I was kind of bummed out by it. But I want to check it out just because driving through there, I mean, it's just like, you could just feel the energy. It was crazy there.
Yeah.
Ashland is. I feel like all of Ashland is pretty haunted. So is
Center of the universe.
Petersburg.
Yeah, Petersburg.
I was thinking about Petersburg as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
God.
If you want to check out Petersburg, there's actually a video on our YouTube channel, same name. But basically, the company I worked at kept buying haunted places and then putting storage units on top without knowing. So there's
we found some crazy stuff there.
Mechanicsville, they have a battlefield half on there, like near Beaver Dam, which I think is near the cabin, right? Beaver Dam battlefield. So over in that area, they have storage units halfway on that. They have it on where a house was, where an old couple lived. The wife died, husband died not that long after. They killed the house and removed the land, and then they built a storage unit on top. Facility. So there's stuff there. And then the Petersburg was 60 acres. And so if you come down and you turn right, there's a cemetery over here, and there's a crematorium this way, diagonally right in between the land. So right where the land is at is where a house from the 1940s was there, and it was an RV park. Almost like a trailer park situation. But when they bought the land, everybody moved out. So we actually got to film in that 1940s house, and we captured, I don't know how many EVPs of people talking to each other like couples, we heard things getting thrown against the wall. There's a lot of activity.
Yeah, so when you first walked into it too, it was kind of like, like when your parents, when you were a kid, would argue and leave the room and you'd walk in and you could feel the argument.
Yeah.
That same sense.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So if you want to check it out, it's on there. And as we were leaving, whatever entity that was there, literally standing in the doorway watching us get in the car and drive off. Like, we looked back, very tall, slender, black shadow. And it was just like, you pull into someone's driveway wrong and they get out and they're looking at you through the door. And they kind of got the arm up like that. And you're like, oh, my bad. And you back out.
What are you doing here?
So making coffee. I'm not staying.
Yeah, that's kind of, he kind of had his arm up.
Yeah.
Long figure.
Why were you here?
Yeah.
Get to leaving now, bro.
I was like, do you see that? Like, wild.
That's
wild. I've seen stuff like that before. There's like this weird shadow thing that's as tall and lanky, like a Slenderman, but it's still a shadow person. Some strange stuff out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is crazy. Wow, that's sounds like we've got a lot of fun, more stuff to have you on to talk about. We haven't even talked about your podcast yet.
we have taken a break on that, like I said, but we're gonna try and get back to it here soon. But our podcast is kind of like, we do a lot of goofy stuff. We were doing like movie reviews. I've missed out on a lot of horror movies, so now I'm trying to get back to watching them. So we'll watch it, him and I, and then we'll do a review on it. We've done podcasts just about cryptids and elementals and stuff like that out there. We've done podcasts talking about more in depth of the episode that we shot. So we just chit chat about stuff like that. So but we got to get back into it all. We just kind of took a hiatus and now we're coming back. So
it's good to take a break and recharge
Mhm.
your batteries and get ready to get back out there and do some more investigating and whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, for sure. No, definitely the cabin. When are you guys free and open for us to come out?
Well, like I said, I've got to talk to Dennis. Is in charge of the private investigations. I do the public ones.
Okay.
So we'll have to see what the calendar says, and probably June. I'm thinking. I think May is booked.
Gotcha.
But we'll figure out a day. I'll message him and see what dates we have open and see if they what works for you guys.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean, like you guys can always come to a a public event too. I'd
Yeah.
love to meet you guys.
yeah, definitely.
Really.
Well, when's the next public event? How about that?
Well, we've got Haunted Nights is coming out there with God, what are their names? The guys from Tennessee Race Chasers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Chris
Oh,
and Mike, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I've seen that. I might have hit interested on that. I just can't remember. When's the date? Is it this month or June?
the 14th and 15th of June.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
Yeah, we'll definitely go out there.
yeah, that's the next public event we have out there, and then the cabin. I think we might be doing something in. I guess the one in August is the next one that we're actually putting on ourselves. So
Okay, cool.
because we got the one at the end of September,
Mm.
and then Dennis wants to do one on October 5th, which I'm like, how am I going to sell tickets for events 2 weeks in a row? But yeah, so
I mean, it's
I'll have to figure that part out.
Yeah.
But we've got some stuff coming up, and of course, FPRI does their events at Bell Grove
Yep,
Plantation, so
we're at
definitely
Fort
go out there.
Conway, and we will be. Our next one is most of our tickets are like twofold. You can go 7 to 12, or we can do what you call it a paranormal lockdown, which is from 7 to 5 in the morning, or whenever John is like, I'm ready to go to bed. So
That's a private or that's a public event?
it's public, but they limit the amount of people are usually limited, and then there's like a limited amount of tickets that are from the like 12 to 5. We usually end up with like 5 or 6 people that are ready to go that long. So there's 2 different ticket prices. We have one April 20th, and there's one in July. I can message you guys and let you know what that date is.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
yeah.
We're trying to get into more spaces, more locations. We only can do but so much research, so we're trying to find new stuff, but we also want to get into more historic. So we'd be down to check that place
Well,
out.
that was James Madison's birthplace, so it doesn't get more historic than that.
Oh,
I think I might be able to top that. We've got, as far as probably about the same, but Henricus, we have an investigation at Henricus Park on June 1st.
ooh.
That's my birthday.
We'll come on out to Henricus Park.
We want
Bring Diane. Have a paranormal party. Crop has got an investigation out there, which is crazy active.
I've only been there once, and it was insane.
is it easy to get private investigations there, or they only do public?
I think right now it's only public, so this would probably be the best way to do it. Transcend does their investigation out there in Halloween, which is good too.
Yeah, Steve is pretty
But
cool.
I think,
Chris.
yeah, I think it might be a little more crowded on Halloween than this event. But I don't know.
I was trying to
It's
talk.
pretty popular, so we could be sold out. We could sell out. Hopefully, we do.
There's a sanitarium in Gordonsville too, which is technically Radford, Virginia, where Beyond the Badge.
Well, Radford is like 2 hours down the road from Gordonsville.
So
You talking about St. Albans?
Yes, that place. Yes.
Yeah.
That's off the chain.
Or Gordonsville
In their
has the
video-
Exchange Hotel.
In their video, they were calling it both locations for some reason. Like at one point, they're like, we're in Gordonsville. This is Radford. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they're not really that close to each other, but They both,
Gordonsville is more like the Exchange, right? Exchange.
yeah,
Hotel.
that's the Exchange Hotel.
Yeah, I was gonna
Hey,
say I
Tracy.
didn't know that St. Albans was in Gordonsville. I love Gordonsville. It's so pretty.
It's not in Gordonsville.
It's in Radford.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a couple places we're trying to get into. So I've been trying to talk to Henrico about getting into Dab's house or Dab's museum, which is a pain in the butt. Some people are easy to talk with, and some people just they put up a wall and it's hard to talk to them. So Henrico's been kind of doing that to us. There's a couple other places too we want to get into.
Walkerton Tavern is very active. We did an investigation out there.
Yeah, it's one of their biggest issues or holdup is basically they don't have an associate that wants to work overnight while you're doing a ghost adventure. So we're trying to figure that situation out, but we're trying to get to those two places. There's actually a abandoned hospital in Richmond.
I was just going to name that one
that we're trying to get into as well. We know the people to talk to, so hopefully we can get in there.
Well, we got to run down
with you. I want to go to an abandoned hospital.
Well,
Me too.
If we get
hit us up.
Field trip.
Abandoned hospital
Listen.
and funeral home.
So I'll give you kind of a small rundown of it. So basically, it was abandoned since the 70s. Bon Secours promised to take over and basically hand money in to buy new equipment, new machines, help out the people there. They basically just went somewhere else and let it go to waste. Hundreds of people died there in a result of not having the right equipment, not having the right treatment and stuff like that. And so basically Bon Secours just now built a building like somewhere else. So that whole building is now owned by
that college right there.
VUU or UVV, something like that. The college that's out there. So they're like
UVA.
UV. No,
Virginia Union.
Yeah.
Virginia Union University.
Yeah.
So they own it, but it's a whole different building that owns it. It's really weird. It's like almost like a building and somebody was like, I don't want it. Here you go. So we tracked down, like, I don't know how many people to talk to.
Yeah, we got the rundown with that too. Crazy.
But we actually got to stop and go there. I opened up the door. It was the middle of the day. As soon as you open the door, the whole sound. There's lead paint peeling off the wall. It looks like somebody in there just blew up the whole building. You hear water drips somewhere down in the basement. And so I don't do voodoo, but I always do like that little voodoo thing where you knock 3 times before you go in a building. Lets everybody know that you're there, that you're respectful, blah, blah, blah. So I did that. I said, is everybody here with us? I knocked it 3 times. And then all of a sudden, all the way down to the basement, 2 floors down, you hear, come back, midday.
Oh, wow.
And give you a little shiver, like, like, I want to go into that here. But we didn't want to trespass or nothing. So, but it's a building we're trying to get into, and it's like 4 different levels of stuff. So,
and I still want to figure out how to do a legitimate way of going to the pump house and the bridge going to Belle Isle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go out there as a kid in high school and didn't really realize I was trespassing, but
there was an old.
I'm not from here, so what is that?
Pump house is an old like water pump house that was like very gothic looking, and there is a dance floor on top, and people would come on the boats and they would go up, and there was one light on top in the ceiling, and they would have dance parties until it got too dark, and then they would have to go home. But they have like a band set up, and there'd be like dances back in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
When was that? Nice.
And there's that weird house right next to it. I guess it used to be the workers' house. When they would work in the pump house, they'd go to the house and stay there. So there's a house next to it too. Yeah,
and with that being close to the ports of entry, that's probably like active as
yeah.
Oh.
There were canal locks.
Yeah.
Like, where they would pump the water, and then boats would come like up from the city. Instead of having to go through the rocks of the James River, they go up the canal to go places.
Yeah. There's another place I wanted to get into. It was kind of weird. It was like I went to Petersburg one day, and I went to one of the battlefields out there. I think it was, I can't remember the name of it, 7 something. But anywho, as I'm there walking around, you just felt some crazy energy, some crazy vibes there. I was by myself. Nobody else was there during the day. And as I was leaving, the park people were there. So I handed them my business card and I was trying to introduce myself and talk to them. And I was trying to get in there, but they don't allow any paranormal investigations in those parks anymore. Basically, I can't remember what he called it. He's like, yeah, we do special tickets or whatever, allow people to do different events and stuff. And he's like, except that we don't allow that. And I was like, well, that's interesting.
Why?
I don't know. I guess I don't know if he's worried about bringing stuff up or just I don't know. I mean, I even came with a plan. I was like, let's do a Kickstarter, let's do something and get people to have an event here, and you can put the money towards the park, and like try and build it up a little bit more if you need to, new benches, new whatever. They just didn't go with that idea either.
So many places don't want their location to be known as haunted.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that logic, but it brings in people if they want to,
right.
But I guess people don't see it that way.
Oh, you know what else? The Cole Harbor Park battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We can do that during the day.
I want to do an investigation there so bad.
And I did a few as a kid again at nighttime, which was trespassing. Didn't really. I didn't realize
do that.
So like this is like 2000.
Look at that, kids. Don't listen to us.
Didn't have a time sign posted or nothing, and it's wide open.
There's no sign
with a house.
It's not trespassing.
So
well, it's a pastime. Growing up in Virginia is trespassing. So
if I don't see a sign, it's not trespassing. That's my mom.
Yeah. No, Virginia is a very historic place, and that's kind of just like our main mission is we want to put it out there to, I guess, the world or social media, whoever, that there is stuff here to investigate. I mean, there's cemeteries hidden everywhere. There's abandoned buildings we don't know about. A guy at work was just telling me about a cemetery. We went out and saw it, and we were like, holy shit, it's behind a shopping center, in a small part of the woods.
Yeah.
And it was like two different family cemeteries buried next to each other. And the weirdest thing ever is it's like 50 feet apart, and one of them has aloe vera growing out of it, like a million different plants of it. And the other one, but it's only in that cemetery patch.
Yeah.
So like we found that weird, and we're trying to investigate, research like who the families were and stuff. But the families, somebody married somebody from the other family, so there is one of the tombstones has both of their last names on it. So we're trying to like dive into all that research.
That
come out to Evergreen Cemetery sometime.
I mean, the area of New York that I'm from is about an hour away from the Conjuring House, and I would love to go to the Conjuring House.
Yeah.
In my hometown, Syracuse, we have 13 Curves, which is like a famous haunted road with 13 curves in it. Made it to a couple of shows. It was on, Jack Osborne, when he broke out doing Paranormal for Sci-Fi Channel at the time, had that Haunted Roads show, and that was like episode 3 of his show. So,
Wow. Well, guys, I think it's time for us to say goodnight.
Oh,
good night.
It's been a fun. We've laughed. We've had a good time. We have a lot of more stuff to talk about, and I could go on for another hour, but my back is killing me right now. So
hopefully it feels better.
Well, it's just the way I'm sitting right now. It's a little painful, but I'm very glad you guys came on the show to chat with us tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Always a good time with Shadows Abound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Glad to be out.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.
Nice meeting you, Sarah.
We'll have you back on, and we'll have talk some more about your adventures.
Yeah, definitely. So I will say we'll try and get that footage for Mendo out here soon in the next couple of weeks. I'll be working on it when I'm not at work and other stuff. But yeah, we'll try and get you out there. And if y'all want to join, you can too. And if y'all have any locations that you know about, you want us to go check out, feel free to let us know. Like I said, we're trying to grow our locations and knowledge about it. So definitely down for some other investigations.
Awesome. Well, sounds good, guys. Thanks again for coming on. And again, if you guys check out Shadows Abound on YouTube and Facebook,
yeah,
check out some of their videos. They did a really good job with their stuff.
I'm excited to see
Thank you
everything.
for having us, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
No problem, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
That was fun. I enjoy
Yeah,
talking.
it's always fun
Yeah.
with them.
Always enjoy hanging out with them, and looking forward to hanging out with them at the Midlothian coal mines and the cabin on 360. What do we have coming up? What do you have coming up on Sunday, Rhonda?
This Sunday, it's just the Enigma machine. Are you still going to be on? No, we had
I'm gonna
talked
be
about.
on. We've got the freaking awesome playlist coming on Sunday.
I know, but we had talked about.
No, I think you've got the drag queen coming on this Sunday.
No, that's the weekend after, because I think we had talked about the show to like we were all going to be at the cabin, but I don't know if we're still doing that or
I think
Howie
it's
and I are
going to be
just
the
deciding.
24th.
Oh,
I
that's
think
the
Howie's
24th?
going to be in Roanoke this weekend or
Okay.
something.
I want to know.
So this is just Howie and I just talking paranormal BS. That's
Well,
this.
sounds like a good show, and we'll be chatting about 1990s country music
Yep.
on Sunday,
Ooh,
which was
Diane
postponed.
would definitely like that.
Because we were
I'm
all
excited
just
about it.
dog tired.
Yeah. And then
Sorry.
next week we've got Jason Gray from GI Paranormal
Woohoo.
coming on the show, which I guarantee will just be insane
Yeah.
having him on the
It's
show.
gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no, it's gonna be the worst time ever.
It's
He's
gonna
such an
suck.
asshole.
It's going
such
to
an asshole.
suck. Of course, we're fucking around. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be
great.
a lot of better than jokes.
Yeah, we have to remind Jason to keep it PG or PG-13.
Yeah. He went to bed. He went night night. So I don't think
Maybe not a hard R, maybe like a soft, just not NC-17. You know,
PG-17.
yeah. So, guys, thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Rhonda, thank you. We'll see you on Sunday.
Yes.
Sarah, thank you. We'll see you whenever.
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 See you whenever. I will see you every Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Hey, in the morning and in the afternoon.
Morning and the evening.
Exactly.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll be back here next Tuesday night. Same freaking awesome time.
Same freaking awesome channel.
Same freaking awesome place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a thing going here. That's awesome. I gotta remember to do that next time.
Yes.
That's incredible. Guys, thanks you for watching. Thank you, Tracy, Lois, Jason, Howie, Hanny,
John, Tyler,
John, everyone who tuned in. We really appreciate you guys. We'll be back here again with GI Paranormal. Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.